Welcome to The Explainer. Tonight we're diving into a story that starts with a simple, late-night knock at the door and spirals into a terrifying journey with a mysterious corpse, a vengeful spirit, and a secret that is absolutely horrifying.
So, picture this. It's late, probably around 9:30 p.m., and everything's quiet. And then, that silence is just shattered by these frantic words. It's a desperate plea for help that's about to kick off a whole chain of horrifying events.
Madhav opens his door, and there's his friend Ramlal, but the look on his face, it's pure, absolute terror. He's clearly seen something that has shaken him right down to his soul.
Ramlal can barely even explain himself. He's so terrified. He just pulls Madhav back to his own house. And that's where they see it. Lying on the ground, right by the entrance, is the body of an old man. He's not moving. He looks dead.
So Ramlal tries to explain. He says this guy was a total stranger who just asked for some water, took one sip, and then suddenly collapsed. But his story, it just feels a little thin, The level of panic he's showing suggests he's terrified of being blamed for a crime he says he had nothing to do with. I mean, what do you do in a situation like that? Ramlal is begging him for help, so Madhav come up with a really risky plan. He tells them they're going to secretly take the body to the old abandoned crematorium just outside the village and burn it. No body, no evidence, no questions.
But this is not going to be that simple. This is where things take a really deep, unsettling turn. Their problem is about to shift from something legal to something completely supernatural.
Okay, so they get ready to move the body. They turn their backs for literally just a second. And when they look back, the corpse is gone. Vanished.
And now, real panic starts to set in, because dead bodies don't just get up and walk away, right? They're frantically looking all over the place, peering into the darkness, but there is absolutely no trace of it. It's as if it was never even there.
So, defeated and totally freaked out, they give up the search and go back to Ramlal's doorstep. And you won't believe this, the body is lying there again, in the exact same spot they found it in the first place.
The horror just keeps getting deeper. Madhav goes to get his scooter, and he leaves Ramlal alone with the body for a minute. And in that chilling silence, Ramlal hears the corpse whisper this terrifying command right to him. It's a message, and it is just dripping with judgment. At this point, they feel like they have no other choice. So, they load the body onto the scooter, and this journey to get rid of it, it turns into a ride through a storm of pure supernatural torment.
As they're driving through the dark, the horror just ramps up. Ramlal feels an invisible hand slap him clean across the face. They hear disembodied laughter all around them as this violent storm just erupts out of nowhere. And through all of it, a terrified Ramlal swears he saw the corpse actually sit up on its own. Madhav just writes it off as panic, but is it?
So they finally get to this desolate crematorium. And it's here, in this place of endings, that the haunting stops being so subtle. The awful truth of what happened tonight is finally about to be revealed.
As Madhav is preparing the funeral pyre, the impossible happens. The body sits straight up. Its eyes aren't lifeless anymore. They are burning with this cold, otherworldly rage. And then it starts to speak.
The spirit looks at both of them and accuses them of murder. But you can feel that its real, unholy fury is aimed at just one of them, Ramlal.
And it turns out Ramlal's entire story was a lie. The spirit reveals the truth. Ramlal didn't just give the old man water. He lured him to his home. He assaulted him, and then he strangled him to death. He didn't ask for help because he was scared. He asked for help to dispose of the evidence of his own terrible crime.
You can imagine, this revelation hits Madhav like a punch to the gut. The whole story just flips. He realizes he hasn't been helping a panicked friend. He's been an unwitting accomplice to a cold-blooded murderer. It's a profound betrayal.
Now that the truth is out, the spirit has its killer right where it wants him. And it's not just looking for vengeance. It wants a very specific and absolutely horrifying kind of justice.
Ramlal is on the ground, begging, pleading for his life. But his cries for mercy mean nothing. The vengeful spirit grabs him with this incredible supernatural strength and just drags him onto the unlit pyre, forcing him to lie down right next to the body of the man he killed.
And then the spirit turns its rage-filled eyes to Madhav, and it gives him an unthinkable order. He has to be the one to light the pyre. It says that only by burning the killer alongside the victim can the spirit find peace and the murderer face his final judgment.
I mean, can you imagine? You're trapped between a friend who turned out to be a murderer and an all-powerful, vengeful ghost. It's the most terrifying form of supernatural justice you can think of, and it's forcing a mortal to carry out the sentence. Madhav realizes he has no choice. He has to obey.
With a hand that's just trembling, Madhav lights the pyre, and the night is immediately filled with these two sounds, the agonizing, blood-curdling screams of his friend being eaten by the flames, and the triumphant, terrifying laughter of the ghost, finally getting its revenge.
And the story just leaves us with this one lingering question that hangs in the air long after the flames die down. Can a soul that committed such a terrible sin and then received such a violent punishment ever truly find redemption? It's a haunting thought to end a truly horrifying night.